before we start then, let's take a little look at the kit itself. As you can see, this is a vintage classic kit, and this was originally tooled in 1969, and this is the 2019 boxing. And actually, the tooling isn't too bad for an old interwar biplane. It still holds up reasonably well. What's brilliant is that you get brand new Cartograph decals, and this is the scheme that comes in the box. And what I love about this even more is the fact that it is number 19 Squadron Duxford, so very close to my heart. And yeah, let's have a little look at the plastic. Here's the instructions and the decals. We'll have a look at those in a moment. But this is old school Airfix. You've got a bag of bits, and this is very reminiscent of my childhood when I used to get the old tool Airfix stuff. And yeah, let's open this up and see what's inside. So you've got the clear parts on a single sprue in a separate bag there. Got the fuselage. You can see a lot of flash, an indication of the age of the tooling there. You've got a little pilot. And then we have another sprue. Again, hardly any interior detailing at all. Then we have the lower wing. And you can see the detailing isn't too bad. Bearing in mind this is a fabric covered biplane, you can get away with the older toolings with these kits. And there's the propeller with a bit of flash on it. It's the wings again. And here is the engine, which despite its age is reasonably well detailed. Turning quickly now to the decals. Obviously with the old kits, quite often it's the decals that go first and makes it hard to sort of salvage them. But what Airfix have done with these classic kits is you've got brand new fresh decals, and you can see just how gorgeous they are. So despite the plastic being 1969 old tool, the decals are nice and fresh. Turning now to the instructions. As you can see, we've got colour instructions which are new. However, keeping the nostalgia going, the actual step-by-step is pretty much the original. So yeah, we're going to start building this now, and let's see how it comes together. As you can see then, we've done a very basic paint job on the interior. So we've got a bit of green in there, and I've used the pilot to fill up that cavity. And if we have a look at the two halves together, you can see there is very little that is visible, and that doesn't even have the top wing on yet. So I'm not too concerned, and I think we're ready to close these halves up now. While the fuselage halves are drying, I'm going to turn my attention back to the top wing. As you can see, we've got a nice little seam there, and I want to fill that gap with some putty. So we'll be using my Old Faithful ammo arming putty. So before we attach the lower wing to the fuselage like so, I want to chrome this part of the fuselage, and for that we have these fabulous chrome pens. As you can see, it's prime time, and we are using Vallejo's Gloss Black because this is going to be silver. Nice bit of progress. So you can see we've got the windscreen on there, the tail skid, and this is ready for decals because if we look here, you can see the undercarriage goes on, and yeah, these numbers will be underneath that. So we're going to get the decals on first, and then we can construct the undercarriage. While we're there, I think we'll probably put the decals on the top wing, and yeah, then we'll start the attachment process. Now that we've completed the undercarriage, that is the bottom section done, and we are ready to put the top wing on. As you can see, the build is complete. So the only thing left to do now is my favourite part of modelling. Yep, we've got to rig it. For the rigging then, we have our thin CA glue, we have a cocktail stick, and I have this Infini fine rigging, and you'll notice I'm using 1/48 scale. We do have the 1/72 scale stuff as well, but I've found that this is just too thin and you almost can't see it. So my recommendation would be to go with the slightly thicker 1/48 scale stuff, and you should end up with a better looking model as a result.